Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 50, would you believe, Hobbs?
50?
50. This is the 50th episode of
They put up with us for 50 episodes of this shit.
I don't understand it either, but, you know, here we
Sadists.
are. Hopefully here they are as well. I don't know if anybody's watching. It suggests a couple of people might be. But today we are going to be looking at pips and pictures and things of that ilk. When I say pictures, I mean little pictures at the bottom left of your ships. And I need to look at pips. Now, if I get into a game, we'll be able to see what's kind of going wrong with pips and why they aren't working as we're happy with. So let that happen. Hey Farb, how you doing? Also, we're listening to a little bit of Smooth Soul this evening. If you're enjoying that, let me know. If you hate it, I'll turn it off. What's up, Alex? You're primarily looking at the ship and station pictures at the moment, are you?
Yeah, I've done the Fed stations, I've done the Klingon stations, I've done the Klingon ships. I'm just redoing the Fed ships, so I'm about halfway.
You've done the planets already as well, haven't you?
I've done most of the planets, but I do need to double check which ones I've done, and I think I need to do all the stars still.
Okay. I think we've only got like 3 or 4 different stars that really need doing, haven't we?
Yeah, there's like the wormhole and the like the funky
Comets
comets and all that jazz, but apart from that shouldn't take too long.
That's not too bad.
It's just a little tedious one.
Oh, I'm afraid, Hobbs, when it comes to the pips themselves, I'm going to be getting paint out to show you the kind of thing that I'd like to do.
No.
But you love my paint drawings, don't lie.
I love your paint art and not drawings. Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, damn me. I want to bin this so badly because the load time is atrocious when it's unbinned.
Yeah, I mean the first one is. After that, you can kind of if you quit out and have to do another one, it's quite quick.
Massive congratulations to Dalek Seth.
Oh, what's he done?
Oh, he says he's going to be a dad. In October, there'll be a mini Dalek.
a tiny one trundling round.
Yeah, he'll be like, cause extreme damage, but do not exterminate.
Why do we have to exterminate, Daddy?
Congratulations, man. That's really wonderful news. So happy for you. Anybody who's watching in chat who'd like to pipe up and say congratulations to Dalek, I would be grateful. Right, pips, yeah. Look, no. Look, you had your opportunity. I sent you a voicemail. I told you I wouldn't be able to talk later on, and here you are ringing me. Good Christ on a bike, my mother is a lunatic.
So you said ring later, right? No! I am Groot? No!
She absolutely drives me to distraction. Bless her. I never pick up the phone and call anyone, and I made extra special effort to give her a call today.
And it's wrong.
So it didn't interfere. Right, so what pips are there are the things here that would usually be showing up right about there to designate how many ships you've got. We can probably simulate that a little bit by spawning some entities. Active player, ship, like these. There you go, these little orange buggers here that are showing up. These are your pips. Left for yours, right for the enemies, and then underneath for any structures that are in your gravity well. Hey Centurion, how you doing? Now these don't line up as well as we would like them to. Mostly, I think, because we changed
Something definitely did change.
shape
And I
around
can't remember
the
who
edge.
did it, but it broke.
So what happens
Things were broken.
is the
things
first...
happened.
I think the first pip and a half, they're basically hidden by the surround now. And that isn't any good for anyone. So we've got to change that. And I've kind of got an idea about what I might like to do for these pips. We'll see how Hobbs feels about this. So, to paint.
To paint.
So, don't worry, I've got this, guys.
Oh, God.
Hey, just don't judge until you've been me.
Okay, okay.
So, right, there's our edge. Here's a lower one, just so you don't get confused. Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so instead of just having blocks that are kind of consistent with this, like so,
Yeah.
I think what I might like to do is have them start here and then give them a kind of almost a curve upwards. So the next one comes out longer and so on and so forth until there's a peak in the middle. And so on and so forth. Do you think that might be a nice thing to do? And it might be even nicer if we kind of give those a little bit of a diagonal feeling. Hang on, I've got a rubber here. Thanks. No. So if we give those a diagonal feeling, will they come out to a central point and then come back in that way?
Okay.
Think that might be nice, or do you think that's just too much faff?
Let me load up the thing and then I'll see how it might look. What's the pip file? Gold textures, that sounds about right. Yeah, made it out.
Do I have pips in there?
Yeah, gold textures is... the pips themselves are not in here, but all the surrounds are. Oh, he's done pirate and wormhole ones.
Yeah, he did those yesterday, I want to say. I'm pretty sure there's something in here that defines the pip.
Yeah,
Cloud friendly. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, it's all them.
Enemy ships, modules. Pip cloud planets, what's this? Doesn't look like it's used.
Pip icon combat ship.
So, yeah.
Right, so between those two corners there's 24 pixels.
Or maybe we can't do it actually. I thought I might be able to define each pip separately, but I can't.
Oh, what can we do with it? What does it say? Because I've not looked at these at all before. So
there goes that plan, lads.
what does that say? Friendly ships, blah blah blah. Pip icon combat ship. So I assume that's the actual pip itself, and then the size of it and where it is, and then what's that one at the bottom? Main entity count. So is that how many make up one pip? Maybe entity count, or is that how many entities
sure
will
there's a
fill
better
the pips?
I'm sure there's
So
a
that
better
one- so
definition here
7
for the pips.
75 would be a fully loaded pips.
Hang on. I think this just defines the entity area where the pips might live.
What's the dot brush layout, that last file?
This one.
Yeah, what's in there?
Ah, this is the one.
Oh, there we go. That's alright.
Here we go.
Yeah,
But it looks like the
segment
segments,
offsets, so you can do them.
but we can't define each separate segment with a separate jib jab. Yeah, so the texture is always going to be the same texture.
Oh, that's annoying. How many segments is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you can you say how many segments it is? Yeah, 10. So we could do less if we wanted.
But do we want to is the question.
Well, I'm trying to see how many I can fit in this gap here.
At least it doesn't look like a penis for once, says Paint. Thanks, bud. I did my best. I can make it look like a penis. Hang on. Don't worry, Bane, I've got this.
I got this, don't worry.
Bollock and mares.
Yay.
That's a funny
What
looking
we
penis.
always dreamed of.
Yeah, what I thought was going on with this, because obviously my memory is just wrong, is I thought I could define, say, unit main, the texture, in each one of these independently for the segments, and I can't. Why you do this, says Bob. My bad.
My bad. So...
Oh, interestingly, you can have more than one row.
Oh, that is interesting.
I haven't really experimented with this very much. Probably a bad idea that I do.
Oh, that's annoying.
Okay, I can see the way that I've done it. It stands to reason. Except for the fact that I'm absolutely bored. The enemy units one is not consistent from a number of separation. So clearly what I need to do is, if I go to pick...
Ah, why is it 24 pixels? There's no way to make it even. I'd have to join them up. So it's like a continuous bar that grows rather than have gaps or anything between it.
I actually wouldn't mind that. So you'd like there to be no gap between them?
I think we could get away with a gap between the existing surround and the bar. If you check my screen a second. I mean, imagine this obviously is a different color. The bar itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just got a color overlay. It does. So you know, if this was say baddies, oh, it's the whole thing. Gart.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. I don't think there'll be an inner and outer separation in colour because they're quite small. So it will just be a block colour.
Okay, how about that? Look.
And it'll be the player colour.
Oh, is it defined by the player color?
Yeah, so if we look in game, I'll just minimise you for a moment.
What? So
it's defined by your player colour here, look.
I see.
But I think what I might need to do in order to get it into a spot that's reasonable is if we've got a pip cloud friendly ships, I think I need to change this offset a little bit so it's lower. So I think the offset from centre... Oh shit, here we go. The Y offset from centre probably needs to be something like -28. See if this works. Oh no, is this something I'm going to have to restart the game for?
I shouldn't be.
Let's try 45. Oi. I think it is.
Fuck!
This was previously 6. Let's try it on 29, -29, and then I'll restart the game and see what we get.
Take a screenshot first, and then you can compare.
It's too high. Right now, if it moves downwards, then life is good, right?
Oh, is it the whole offset you're doing, not the gap between or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to offset the start position of the entire thing.
You've got the Mark 1 eyeball for that.
I'm going to offset the start position of the entire thing, and then I'll start squishing it all up.
That sounds about right.
I mean, I might be doing this totally wrong, I don't know. It's hard being this handsome and pretending to be intelligent.
You're so full of shit.
What? What are you talking about?
What? Said that out loud again.
Yo, I just watched your Star Trek Online Discovery vid, and I was wondering if Star Trek Online can be played as a single-player game, as I like the look of it. Yeah, it can be. Absolutely. You can play it totally single-player. You're kind of hamstringing yourself from a power creep standpoint, and possibly from there's late-game content that kind of requires other players to be playing alongside you. Same way as most MMOs have what you'd call dungeons. It's good to have other players with you, otherwise you're just not going to have a good time. But aside from that, you can play through the entire storyline single player, solo, no problem. You don't have to spend any money, everything. Yeah, so if you're just playing for the story, you can do that. I decided to jump back into Stowe because I've got that disco tutorial segment now. Don't know if
okay.
And it's
I mean, I didn't play Stowe a lot anyway when it first came out, let alone now, so I'm not really sure what the dealio is.
It's kind of a reskin of the original tutorial in many ways. You remember that tutorial that you had where you had to face off against the Borg back in the day?
No, I was Klingon when I played, and then I did Romulan when they came out.
Mm.
I never did a Fed character.
There's not a great deal of difference in it, aside from the fact that you've got some Discovery people, like you've got Tilly in there. Otherwise, it's fairly generic. I don't think there's much to it. Everybody tells me how awesome I am every 2 seconds, just like in the show.
You're great for being you.
Oh, Jesus.
Carry on being you, because you are you.
Surely my actions denote me as the best and no one needs to tell me. Surely. Oh, Draconians work until midnight, that's not ideal. Y'all just admit it, you love having Tilly annoy the crap out of you. I'm single for a reason, my friend. I'm not overly tolerant. It's got nothing to do with me being fugly. What are you talking about? Alright, let's see what we've got here now. It might have had the opposite to desired effect.
Did you spawn any more ships in last time?
I did, yeah, quite.
Let's give that a go.
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Just can't.
Do it now,
Sir. It doesn't appear to have had any effect whatsoever, in fact. Well, that's obscure, isn't it? Friendly ships, pip. This is what I changed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has no effect.
So which one was that? That's friendly ships, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, what ship's that you just selected?
Huh?
That icon's the stock one.
Where?
The ability icon.
Huh?
Under your... Oh. There.
Oh, that's the flagship. We haven't really dealt with them yet.
Oh, right, okay. It's like... Stock icon!
We've got just like some milling D6s here.
Kapwa!
Hello, I'm the fleet.
It's like a Morris Minor Appreciation Club. Oh, so you've got them all at 3d6. Oh, very nice.
Well, 52 is going to be too long, so... Oh, this is going to go wrong. I can feel it's going to go wrong. But I've changed this again fairly significantly now. Let's just see what happens if I move this to 44. I mean, not a lot.
For fuck's sake. These are the worst ones, the values that literally do nothing.
Why is it not doing anything?
What,
I'm actively angry.
What other files have you got? What are the other ones? There's a friendly ship, is there an enemy ship one and then a neutral one, maybe?
Yeah. No, neutrals are considered as enemies.
Okay. So there's a structure one,
Mm-hmm.
a friendly one, and an enemy one.
Yeah, to all intents and purposes.
Maybe change the enemy one, maybe they coded it wrong.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Let's try.
Spawn in loads and loads of baddies.
Oh yeah, that was moved. Look, further out than it was. Or is it?
Yeah, or was it, or is he? Or was it always
See
that
how far
shit?
this actually goes.
Okay.
You reckon that's enough?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Oh! Oh well. Looks like it's a military defeat. Not sure why. Everything seemed to be under control. Right. So.
They all fired one torpedo each and just evaporated the atmosphere. Didn't crash though.
No, it didn't. No. So I might be a bit dense right now, but what are these pips to indicate? They're basically to indicate your fleet strength. More pips you have, the more ships you got, and or the more pips that there are, the more the enemy have got.
So you can easily glance at the map when you're really far zoomed out, and if there's, you know, you've sent a scout in or something, and their bar is completely full, then you know you don't want to go anywhere near that. It's essentially the top of the banner that they have on Total War, where they're walking around the map with a big banner and it's got all the lines up it. It's like that. It's just like a basic
Hang on, let's take
representation of strength.
Yeah, it must work. Because look, right. So this is minus 26. So, oh Jesus. And this is plus 9, you see. This will presumably be... Oh, minus 40... Why minus 44? Hang on, I did that. Did I?
I did that. Wait, what?
Why are you only plus 9? What is occurring here? I don't like this game. Hang on, I can give all of these additional offsets. I've got an idea.
Oh, fuck.
Excuse me?
That excited tone normally leads to disaster.
No.
No. It's normally followed also by what's the worst that could happen. And then crashing. I'm sorry.
This is so mean. Nothing ever crashes when I work on it.
This is true.
I mean, don't watch any of my streams.
Don't look at me!
Don't judge me until you've beaten me. Has anyone heard about Riker and Troy appearing in the Orville soon? Oh, that is going to be dope.
I know Tim Russ is in the one that I'm about to see on Friday.
Yeah, he plays Tuvix. No!
I love Tuvix.
Not only was it murder, you could technically consider it genocide, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Thinking about it, because she killed an entire new species. Anyway,
What a bitch.
Enough about Janeway and how much we love her. Sorry, Janeway. Don't be mad. That'll be super cool. I love the fact that there's a lot of the old Trek actors getting into it, and being approached, I suppose, by the Orville. There's a lot of respect for the for old Trek, doesn't it? I think I was mostly excited that Phlox was in it.
Oh yeah, Phlox was in it with Robert Picardo.
Yeah, what a great episode that was. It was a
like
wicked episode.
Both the Doctors, or two of the Doctors.
They're two of the best characters, I think, in Trek. Typically, the Doctors tend to be really good characters, except for...
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Beverly Crusher. I always felt she was a bit boring until she had intercourse with that ghost.
The ghost.
Did anyone see in this new Stowe roadmap they released today? No, I haven't. Tell me all about it. I'm going to regret that. It's more Discovery content. I'll probably kill myself. I mean, I'll thoroughly enjoy it. Sorry, CBS.
Yeah.
Who doesn't need a spooky sex ghost in their lives? No, I can't afford to replace a bed. The thing that I think is frustrating about doing these pips is the fact that it doesn't seem to reset.
What do you mean reset?
Okay. Oh, look, we've made progress.
So, is it the wrong way around? Is it the enemy one applies to...
Bizarrely, no, it isn't. What it is, in fact, what I ended up doing is I just changed the initial offset.
Ah.
Yeah, so the offset, it's actually a little bit low there, the initial offset. So we're going to probably change it to 13 or 12.
No, please update.
I think I'm going to try 13 first.
Oh, is this each individual segment?
Yeah, each pip.
Oh.
Don't worry, I can count upwards. Save that. Oh, look, now it updates. What a prick. Yeah, that looks about right for me. Now let's spawn some ships, shall we? Change Calyx. I reckon I can separate these by one more. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, here we go.
There's actual icons in the game that are, you know, set so you just change the one number and then it does it all sequentially. I don't understand why this one's done in a way where you could maybe have the middle one way further away than the next one.
I don't know.
Like, why would you ever
it's
want
because
that?
it's circular. It's because in the stock game it's circular. That's why.
Oh, of course it is.
So because it's got that arc, they needed to do something that made it look a little bit different.
Yeah, if anything, we're making it more boring by making it a straight line.
No, we're not. Don't listen to him.
He's lying! I've had enough of your lies.
Now it looks all squished in the middle.
Shall I speak on your behalf?
Why are you doing this, game? Look at this!
Maybe you need to make the inner gaps bigger because it's trying to curl it.
Such a prick. We can probably get to like 33 with that one. Oh! 33 is too far. 32. Perfect. Let's move you to 28. Oh, it's all bloody squiggly. some buggeration down here.
Some buggeration. A real technical term.
26? Oh no, that just makes it look. Less segments. Fuck it.
But yeah, I think we're gonna need less. Less is more, and less more is more.
Hang on, there are 10, and it says vertical stride 8.
I am confusion.
I don't know. Let's try removing like 2 segments and see what happens. Oh, here we go. Segment count. Let's move it to 8. Remove 2 segments.
And crash.
Perfection. You alright with that, yeah?
Done. Next.
Hang on, alright. That one's good. We'll move that to 26. Oh. Right, we'll move you to 24. Maybe even 23. Yeah, that looks good. You can be at 20. Fuck. Why is this such a prick?
Oh, I'm glad you're doing it, not me.
We're like, we don't need you. We'll have one less. Oh, fuck off. Oh, it's ready now.
Goes in there, that goes away, and that goes away.
Oh, hang on. Oh, this must be 32. Can you accept this?
I can't see it well enough. Print screen it and send it to me. It's just the quality on Discord's not good enough for me to see it pixel perfect.
Needy.
Yeah,
Trouble, aren't you?
I do try. That needs to go in there. Yes, wood.
Go on disc. Can you accept that?
Right. Let's have a look.
Perfection. Crashes. Bollocks.
Open original. Copy image.
Look, you don't have to zoom in that far. No, don't do this.
What's this shit?
Fuck, it's a shit.
Move all of these down one.
You.
And then this gap will probably be the same as this gap.
Oh, you're such a bellman.
I can tell! Ah!
I hate you so much right
Much
now.
love. Yours. Hops. You asked. Don't ask. You know what I'm like. Well, I'm just raging at the
I
fact
bet this
that
doesn't work now.
doesn't line up with this.
No, look at it now.
Right. Where is it? Where are you?
It's too low now.
Move them all up by one then.
That puts them back where they were to begin with.
What's one of them's further apart than the rest?
Hang on, let's... You see, now it's closer. That's it, 31.5. That's gonna
No.
bloody hell, it did!
It didn't. It read 31 and then skipped it.
Doesn't work. But look, don't tell me you can't do it, because I know you can, because you're doing it. This is unenviable.
I feel like I'm being attacked here.
Oh, Jesus.
And I don't think I'm being that demanding.
Look, people are just gonna have to cope with it like that. I can't live like this. I think I might move all these to offset 7 though.
You're crazy.
It could work. What does horizontal stride mean?
Well, this is the thing. The stride should mean that if you set all of the segment offsets to 0, the stride should be what moves it.
Oh no, let's just press 0. Oh, we didn't like that. Oh shit, it's gone crazy. Why has it gone crazy?
Well, if you I wonder what would happen if you put all your offsets to 0 and then only changed your stride.
Oh, I think that means curl. Oh, Jesus.
I can't look.
Everything's fine. It means curl.
Oh, okay. That might make it. Can you put those all the same then now? Like it was, like we were trying to begin with, and then with that on 0.
Yeah, look at that. It means curl. Look, everything's flat and good and not naughty anymore now.
Yay.
So if I do 13, yeah. 16, 19. 2.
5.
Thank you.
31.
No, you're lying.
4. B. And exclamation sign.
How'd you feel?
Send me another picture. I shall inspect it.
No, I can't.
It's funny.
I've noted a problem.
Oh, what have you done now?
No, it's fine.
Everything is fine when it's fine.
We're going to run into a little bit of an issue here.
Which is that the gap is 24 pixels and you can't have an even spaced gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's 2 pixels or 1, and then we'll need loads of these things, and we don't have enough ships to justify that.
No. So we're going to have to redesign all the surrounds to make it even. Oh.
It's close.
You are correct though, so the hell with that. Right. I've only done a whole row of bloody pictures though.
Only for you.
Indeed. Indeed.
In flip indeed.
No, that's not what I want.
Right, okay, so the first thing I need to do is just turn this bloody stupid stride off. 0, please. No striding. Strider!
Strider!
No, it's fine. Don't crash.
Calm.
This is friendly. This is naughty. Okay. I should probably do some enemy ships, shouldn't I? They're all going to kill each other. I'll be fine. People like that anyway. I'm not. So one thing I noticed here
Yeah.
is it appears that friendly and enemy ships yeah, this should be able to work. So if I do this, change the segment count to what was it?
7.
7.
7.
7.
11.
Oh wait! Playing forever.
We'll keep playing forever. I'm having fun.
Good damn. Good damn! Why is enemy ships starting in a different position?
They're dicks.
Stop that. Yeah, let's just accept it. But what that does mean is I need to probably change the vertical offset more. No. Oh, hang on, maybe it's okay. Oh, okay, there's no enemy ships left. Be a problem. Oh no, it seems okay. Dude, it's good. It works there, on the stars as well. Isn't that nice? Does it work over here? That's fine. Are there any other weird shapes?
Our cruiser has been lost.
Oh, over here.
Our cruiser has been lost. Our cruiser has been lost. Our cruiser has been lost.
It's good.
Oh, thank God for that.
Our cruiser has been lost. Our cruiser has been lost. The destruction of ages has begun. The end. Nathrak, the time of the great pain has begun. Oh, the Kilrathi nation, it's over.
Oh, what have you done? Oh my God. But again, not crashing. I mean, granted, it's all exactly the same ship.
They're all different ships. Some have different health.
Oh. Why have you gone in?
Alright.
I am on with the battle.
Oh, look at that. 7 whole FPS. Zooming out of that shit.
Nope. Nope away from that.
Iron within, iron without.
Right, now we need to work out how to do that one on the bottom.
No, everything's fine. I've already got it. But what I might need to do is I might need to do some squiggly boobles. Go with instant build times, no slot restrictions, and then we'll change. Can everything stop exploding? Change. Give myself some dollar, bing bang, and some titanium modality.
Some dollar bills, y'all.
Why can't I? I lost my whole world.
Did you die and then continue playing? I can't remember. Or was that the last one? Right.
Why can't I build buildings?
Did you die? I feel like you died.
Oh yeah, I lost. I remember.
Feel that you're dead, Jim.
There we go. These guys will have to do it. Oh, they're doing it without me.
Our cruiser has been lost.
Right, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. These bottom ones don't look quite right, do they? And this is the bottom one. Let's give that 7 segments as well. You like the smooth tunes? Glad to hear it, my man. See, some of these are 5 offset and some of these are 6. These all need to stay at 6. It doesn't stand to reason for them not to.
I have returned.
No.
You again.
There's a reason I'm doing this, folks. Stop it. Right, looks like 13's correct. Okay, I think one problem with these pips, if you have a look,
Yep.
is I think they need more distance between them.
Is that a full set?
I believe so, yeah.
Maybe add more segments?
Let me just ensure that I'm correct in that. Got a lot more space.
Does it count, I mean, you're already like way over what you'd normally be able to build anyway in one. Well.
Oh, it's nearly full. Oh, come on.
Like if you imagine without the no slot restrictions, how?
Yeah, you'd never get this amount.
Yeah,
But that's not something I don't think I can change. We'll need one
Was
more.
that not that value in the other file? the .entity file?
Don't believe so. There you go. How's that?
Ah, that's good. That'll do.
Everybody happy with that? Actually, that one is centralized as well, surprisingly.
Yeah, the main view icon max entity count. I wonder if you change that, if it will move up. In the pip cloud modules.entity file, the last line is main view icon max entity count. I think that means that might be the
how many slots an entity is worth.
Yeah, so say this one's on 45, so the maximum so to fill the whole pips it would be 45 points worth.
I don't think I can see your code.
Oh, sorry, it's on this. So this one. So you know, maybe if you lowered that to 10, it would fill a lot quicker.
No, main view icon is the Empire window to the left.
Oh, it is, isn't it? So that must be something to do with the Empire window.
How many can it tolerate before it starts squashing it?
Ah, yeah. No, that makes more sense.
I think that also applies to
because all of this will be
card.
Yeah, all of this will be Empire window stuff then, won't it? This main view is all.
I put something in the AOTF channel, and I think it involves what you're messing around with. Let's have a look and see what Farb's jabbering about. Nah, that's working as intended, mate. What do you think we did that?
I think I'd rather lower the text of the planet name.
Yeah, the planet name does seem unusually high. To move that.
Oh, are you in the game at the moment?
Yes.
In the very top left of your screen,
Yeah.
like right up in the very top left pixels, sometimes there's a ship name under there where your cursor is now, like right up in there.
Oh.
I've noticed it the other day, and I have no idea how we've accidentally done it. But it'll say USS something. It'll be like the actual capital ship's name.
Do we want to change these?
I'll probably skin them at some point. That's that menu that we only found about like 6 months ago. What the fuck is all this?
Where did this come from? Didn't I do these?
I think you did, yeah.
Hell, it looks professional considering it was me. Jesus. I must have been on something when I did it. Damn.
Damn. Right, I'm gonna do a push.
No, no! Me first.
Pushing.
You're really giving me the red ass.
I haven't even saved what I'm doing yet, so don't worry.
Oh, okay. There we go. I think that commit effectively says everything that we need to say.
I missed it. Let's go on the AOTFs. Piplington Wobby Doodle. Wooby Doobly.
Yeah.
Woobo Dooble. Yeah.
Success noise. Well, we don't need this anymore.
Right. New.
Right, so
ship.
apparently we've got to look at, I don't know, naughty men wearing biscuits or something. I'll have a look, Fab. Source filmmaker? No, I've never done anything with that, my friend. God help us, the girl has got a new plan. Why is everybody always so mean to me? Can you acceptably answer this?
No.
Do I have a Klingon desktop? Oh, I can't. I can't minimise right now. I've got a revolving desktop. I've got 3 screens, and it changes between some pictures I've got of STA3 and AOTF. This is new, isn't it? It's Hermes.
What? Yeah, I changed all the loading screens.
It's good, that one. Really nice.
So a lot of the older ones have been swapped out for much snazzier, pimped out ones.
Oh, before we
yeah,
do
we
actually
need to
want to
do
leave
that.
this as a beta development build because it will be the first release, or do we want to give some helpful tips like
I think we
don't
think
pursue
tips would be great.
Lu Bu or something like that.
The colony ship captures neutral structures, perhaps. No, you can't get the Galaxy X.
If you encounter a crash, there is no way of reporting it. Please don't seek it out.
Yeah, don't send us the bloody crash files.
Don't,
We still can't read
don't
them.
send us the debug file. We don't care. A lot of love hearts from Farb and Centurion here. Hey up.
Having a bit of a love off.
Hey up. I didn't know it was going to be one of those tonight. I wouldn't have eaten so heavily if I'd known I had to eat me midriff. No, move me midriff.
Eat someone's midriff. Well, where you going? Okay. Right. Oh, Echo's going to be so happy he's got his pips.
Yeah, I think I need to break them again. Shall I just put them in like random places around around the entire
let's
map?
not do that. Just all over the UI.
Perfection. Right, so if I hover over here, he's right. It's the player name that's the problem.
Yeah, it needs. If we can nudge it down, the player name and the bit underneath, to maybe the bottom of that info, the icon.
Oh shit me.
I think I know where it was because Echo was fanning about it, I believe.
Be a window file.
I think it's info card. .window maybe?
If we've got that window, that's going to be the most likely one, I would expect. There it is.
Entity name offset from icon. 25.
No, because it'll be player name offset from icon. Owner?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it'll be.
But we want to move both the name of the entity and the name and the owner both down, don't we?
Entity name offset from icon. That is how far right it is, though. Entity name top text offset from center. I have a feeling it's this one.
Just start changing stuff. We'll see what happens.
The bugger is. It's just maintaining enough screens so that people can see it while I do change it. So if we do that, now I reckon if we make that now something like 14. Is that updated? Oh yeah, there it goes.
Okay, so that's gone up.
Now it's gone down.
No, the gold gaming's gone up.
Was it?
Try like 6 or something. So what's the one underneath it? What's that one? The where it says the planet name, because we want to nudge that one down as well.
Exposition sublabel. Oh, hang on. No. Because it's not offsetting from top here.
Offset from top center when full screen dialog open. Offset from bottom bar top right. Category gap height. This makes no sense.
How to move the name?
I want to move the
Can't do it.
Why not? Oh, the big number will be like your capital ship level number, won't it? I'm level 4!
Are you?
It was... Ooh, the Elder Scrolls is 50% off. Or up
Ooh.
to 50% off. Hitman up to 80% off.
What happens if I change this? Ooh!
Alright.
That did nothing. Oh, it just moved on. Hang on. Why am I worrying about this? Look. I've got an idea.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I found it.
Aha!
Oh, didn't like that. Yeah, hasn't got that angry. What was the name? Entity top text offset.
It's the one that you just did to 15, I think.
Affected anything to? No, everything seems fine. Who?
I think they could go down a little bit more.
See what this does. Actually, okay, alright, we'll leave this as 0. And we'll change this to 17. Shh, stop your whinging. Is that tolerable?
I would move the 0 to a -2. Yeah, that feels better. It was just the G was a bit close to the capitals beneath it.
Alright then, that'll do then.
Yeah, that's cool. That's satisfactory.
Another question is, what does it look like when it's in full screen? Oh, it's still fine.
So have you noticed the surround for the quick market in the top right? The background is gumped when you've not got pirates on.
It's also moved.
Yeah, but when you've got pirates on, it looks perfectly fine.
Huh.
Because I think when we put it in, we just did it on maps that had pirates on, and then.
Oh, what a bag of old shit!
What a piece of shit.
I don't know how to fix that at all.
Maybe
Maybe no one will ever notice. Pretend you didn't watch this stream.
Nobody saw it. You saw nothing. Right. What was I doing? Pictures. Fucking pictures. Right.
That is really frustrating, isn't it?
I think the picture's split in two or something in the file, but I haven't been bothered to look yet.
So stupid. Why is it such a prick?
Because since.
Oh yeah.
I remember now.
How are we doing with these, by the way? With artifacts?
We have 2 left to do.
Oh wow.
If you do a
Oh, I needed to do this picture.
if you do all
Can you remind me
research.
Can you remind me where this picture surround lived? I know you told me the other day.
I can't remember. What did I type to you? Did I type it to you or did I type it on the
You did,
AOTF?
yeah. It was in a message between us. Like... It was recently, wasn't it? Oh, here we go. Happiness window death.
Yes.
And what file was it in? Do we remember?
That would be in. Oh, it's called something stupid. It's not what you think it is.
It's okay. I can. I've got a plan. Happiness window death. We'll do that, and we'll look specifically in the window. Why not?
It's player screen dot window.
There it is. Some kind of offset going on here.
It's that 205. So you see this 12, 205, 30 down a bit.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's that one.
150 then? Yep. 147. 5. 3. 142. There you go. Are you happy with this, by the way?
No.
Okay, what's the problem?
Well, all the icons are showing antimatter share at the moment because I haven't drawn the rest.
No, I mean, are you happy with the locations?
Oh, yes. Well, I'd probably move them to the right a bit now.
Squad error. Half squad error.
That screen is the bane of my existence.
You want these moved to the right a little bit. I can't remember which was the one I had changed before. It wasn't this, was it?
Yeah, it's all in that file.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. No, start position, travel. Yeah, okay. Off with your squad 0. Excuse my language. Sorry, guys.
He's not sorry.
How does that look? 85? Moved it in a bit. Maybe 90? Move it across a
Yeah,
bit more.
try 90. There's another number as well somewhere, which I think is further down. You'll see another 80.
Got it. And it would probably behoove us to move this one slightly further to the right as well, by virtue of the fact that the gap is larger here than here.
Agreed. Right, what am I doing? I need to open.
Looks like 465 at the moment, so if I go 85, that'll probably be 2. Oh no, that looks good. Yeah, that's okay. I still think the gap on the right is marginally more than the gap on the left. Are you satisfied with it, or do you want me to move it across a little more?
I think it's fine. We can always tweak that kind of stuff a bit later. The main thing at the moment is you see the 2 players on the left. So there's you and the 8th mobile unit.
Oh, I needed to extend this box as well. I moved it upwards, but I need to.
Yeah, the texture's too small. I was using one that's on a different screen, and I was trying to see if I could just use the same one, but it's
everything here is okay. That's
yeah. Yeah, those 2 buttons. So the Gold Gaming 8th mobile unit. There's only enough space for 8 down until you get to the close button. So the gap needs to be
closer to one.
So I would suggest making a game with 10 players. So you'd be able to make sure that the gap is...
Alright.
It's correct.
Trouble is, I think that's going to change our other windows as well.
Oh, it's nice being able to use random now without it accidentally giving a Romulan player.
Indeed. Hobbs, no moving to the left, but I just did that. Do it again. Yeah. Looks almost playable. Alright.
Wow.
You noticed how Max spends his time just pissing about with models? And then we have to do all this shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there were 2 races actually, Draconian. There were Romulans, and then there was another undisclosed race that were still accidentally selectable.
Mavisari.
Where is Max? Max is a bit busy this evening.
Skydon.
Yeah, he quote unquote forgot that he he promised a friend he would play computer games with him, so that's what he's doing. Git.
Bastard.
Yeah, I suspect that there's some kind of gap defined here, look. Between these, and I must have made them bigger at some point.
Right, where am I looking? Yeah.
Because the gap here is identical.
I think it's in a different file though. I think
it's going to be in research window depth.
Are you sure it's not in the top of that file you're looking in? Because I think that file has
tab window. Button top left offset. Size. The offset's going to be what, like 40?
Yeah, maybe. It might be worth turning on the dev mode lines to see how.
Yes, I do. Title area, buttons backdrop area, buttons backdrop detail area.
I'm not just any Cardassian.
Soul Gamer, thank you very much for subscribing.
Try changing the button size at the top. The one that says button size 170 by 65. Try changing the 65 to like 40 or something just to see what happens.
Didn't seem to make much difference. Well, okay.
There you go.
I suspect it's going to change it in all the other ones. No, it doesn't. Oh, there you go. We got away with it.
Yes!
There's...
We just need to get rid of that flashy bullshit.
Well, I'll leave. Because
Okay.
presumably we want some kind of flashy bullshit that's going all the way around it.
Correct.
I'll leave that
I
down
might
to you.
change the
Do you want the
the-
initial offset to be a little bit higher? Like, say, 3 pixels higher and then 3 pixels higher from here as well.
Yeah, I might change the background of those buttons because it's quite difficult to read the lighter text
Not a bad
on the
idea.
left hand.
I think these were wrong buttons anyway, initially. Yeah,
Because it's fine
I
in
think
the
I
other
preferred
screens.
this. Look.
Yeah, I think it's fine on the other screens. Like if you go on the research one,
Hmm.
actually, I don't know. Kind of agree.
These buttons, like, because it's generally darker all throughout.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed them more, but anyway. We want to move the whole thing up a little bit. Button top
Yeah.
offset.
I think that's the whole screen. I think it's the button top left offset.
Yeah, it might well be. E3. That looks good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, for some reason in my mind when I first did it, I was like, okay, 8 players, that fits, done. But then I forgot that things can have 10-player maps. Most of the other RTSs I play peak out at 8 players as the maximum.
Okay. Well, that was one of the major... Oh, no. You push something.
Yes.
Oh, no.
There's nothing that you're looking at there.
We're going to have a look at some of your work in a moment. Just for the sake of the stream.
Oh, it's pretty dull, but it's got to be done.
I think it is dull. I think you consider it dull because you're the one having to do it.
I think I find it dull because I've got to do it like 60 times, the same thing,
Oh, I
but
missed something from Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan, I'm sorry. I didn't really pay attention to you at all, did I? Is this going to be more challenging to keep your fleet going? You'll have a smaller fleet, so losses are going to feel more important. Like, so if you lose a leveled cap ship, for example, you're going to feel like an absolute pleb.
yeah, it's going to be quite unforgiving in that sense.
But attaining and maintaining a fleet, you won't find that difficult. At least I haven't done. I don't know about you.
No, I mean, you obviously with caps, you're always losing them is always going to hurt because of your levels and your ability on
Yeah,
losses,
so I think any ship loss, it's going to upset you.
I think it's gonna. I mean, rather than having massive fleets, you're gonna be able to create your own fleet balance of what ships do what. So losing particular classes of ship will hurt a lot more. If you lose, say, all your long range ships, that's gonna upset your fleet balance a lot more than say just losing a few ships. It's gonna, depending what ones you lose and which ones the enemy are able to take out of yours is gonna. That's going to upset a lot.
Alright, so I can see that you're in 3D Object Converter.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find a particular ship, which I don't know what it's been named.
What does it look like?
It's one of the Vulcan ones. The Surak.
Shouldn't it come under Vol? VUL?
I don't know. It's in the Federation.
B.
Here it is. Right.
How'd you get your textures on there?
I don't need the textures on here. So what I do is I line it up top down with a green background.
Right.
Do a print screen. Go into Photoshop. Paste that. Do a select by color range. Select the green. Delete the green. Then I. God, mate.
Centurion says, I really love the smaller fleet aspect. It plays into the battle groups rather than fleets, and it will feel like a real war rather than Doomstack's grinding. That's our hope. It's still not perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the main difference is if you watch the show, if you watch DS9, you know, they are massive fleet engagements, which is when Armada 3 is set. So that plays into that kind of big, massive combat aspect of it. And then if you watch earlier Trek shows like TOS and Enterprise and stuff, it is smaller engagements.
I think in TOS particularly, I don't think you ever see more than, 4 ships on screen at once?
I think the most fed ships you see, if you include the Enterprise, is 5.
Yeah, 4 aside from, yeah, you're right. And 3 of them, I think, are other Constitution classes in that particular scenario, aren't they?
Well, in the one with the M5 computer, there's 5 Constitution classes.
That's it, yeah.
There's 4 in the or is it 4 in total? I can't remember. It's 4 or 5. In the Enterprise incident, there's a lot of Romulan ships, including the Enterprise. I think, or that might be the Corbomite maneuver. And then in Enterprise, we've seen quite sizable engagements, but still, we're talking like
the Corbomite. What? The old fakie?
No, I might be mistaken it now. What's the one where he uses
wasn't the Corbomite reflector fake?
Yeah, he uses it as a bluff to get away from the Romulans. And there's they get surrounded by at least
5
in the
colonies on one
remaster.
automated freighter, says Centurion. There you go.
Oh, there you go. I can't remember, but at least in the remastered, they get surrounded by a few D7 Romulan versions and some of the Bird of Prey, but I can't remember. It's when that Commodore decides to cut the corner across the neutral zone, and then they all get attacked. Okay, so I've got the my cutout ship
Of the Surak.
Yeah, and I paste it into my big sheet of doom, which you can see at the moment I'm about over halfway now of replacing. We were using these statistics, but it's quite difficult to keep that up to date when we're changing balance figures and things. And
That's true, yeah.
there are also, it's not quite accurate because you have weapons that are good against different types of, basically the damage model in Sims is quite extensive. What the weapon is good at, there's like anti-light, anti-heavy, all that kind of thing.
So you might find that something that is great against fighters is also great against gap ships.
Exactly, but say this is
combat effectiveness versus modules.
Yeah, and then you do a research later on that gives you plus 10% to that. We can't represent that in this graphic. This is a static image. So while it was a great idea to begin with, we're kind of steering away from that now. So I'm basically replacing them with these images.
Haven't you changed the planet ones quite extensively? Like there was a starting slots and max slots or something.
Yeah, so the planets, I'm trying to keep that because I think that's quite... I mean, that's not something that's going to change. The planet's not suddenly going to grow and be able to take more.
I should probably let you know that there are researches that allow you to add logistic.
We may have to look at that then. If that's something that we're going to...
Yeah, I mean...
If we've implemented, then...
I was tempted not to tell you, but I think I probably should.
We'll probably have to take those off then, just like this, because it won't be a true representation, and I don't want to say
I don't know if we've
it
used
has
that in
this and
today.
potentially could have this, because that's going to be so much information to fit in that picture. But also the way I did these pictures is it's very flat. You don't get much definition in these outlines. So the way I'm doing it now is by using this picture, which I can find the Serac layout. This one. What I basically do is, by duplicating this layer and having two of them, I use one as the base texture like this, but then I use one as an overlay, so it kind of gives you a bit of
Oh, that's
the
nice.
definition.
Yeah.
So it's not too much, but you know, when you've got a ship like the Phobos, which is really small and compact, just the outline is a bit, you don't really get a representation of what that might look like. So it just gives it a bit more
pizzazz, a bit more oomph.
Yeah, and especially ones like this where this nacelle looks, you know, quite flat, but it does come over the top, so you'll be able to see that with Neptune. It's like things like this decay, you can't tell that this is actually a ring and these bits are inside the ring. It just all looks like one thing. So.
See.
And so basically I just have to do this. I have to take the picture or take the screenshot from 3D object viewer, paste it in, just apply the same blending options which I've applied to other things. So if I duplicate this there, so I've got two of it. I think I've done the Constitution. So if I copy this, is it copy layer style, paste it on here, paste layer style, copy this one, paste that one, got you, okay, sorry I keep it, and then I can, because this one's actually come out, you can't really see a lot of the definition, I'm just gonna adjust the curve slightly, just to make it stand out a bit. And then I've just got to do that front view, and then that's that one done, and continue the rest of these.
Oh, I see. One thing that I do note is we don't have freighter icons involved in there yet. Is that something you're going to pop in?
Yes. So when I initially did this sheet, I hadn't done fighter ones or freighter ones, but we have pictures. So if I actually open the Klingon sheet, which is done, you see the construction ship one there, and the trade and cargo ship ones there,
Lovely.
and then we've got new flagship one and a little fighter one.
Very good. Very good. Right, the other thing that I wanted to look at this evening was first things first. If I go into the AOTF chat, I think you did minutes from our meeting the other day, didn't you? So
I did.
of course, we didn't pin it because I'm a pleb. Did we pin it?
Oh, I doubt it.
Never going to be able to find. We talk a lot of shit, don't we? And that's a problem.
This is, yeah, that's...
Right.
If you search the word minutes, there's probably not a lot that we talk.
No, I've got it now. I've got it. Instead of a full view of the ships, how about some codex info? Well, codex info can be put in the info card, can't it? So there wouldn't really be all that much point in putting codex info. And I understand what you're suggesting. You're putting like beam length and height and stuff of the ships, but it's quite a small image, and I think like putting vital statistics in like that probably wouldn't.
The other
Wouldn't add too much.
two issues are: one, does it benefit the player? If not, it's very time consuming to make all these images. I mean, this is taking me days to do this as it is. So adding extra information, which isn't really, which is just kind of a a nice to have rather than actually benefiting is, you know, I'm afraid to say I've got better things to be doing, to be honest. But also with different resolutions, the image could grow or shrink. So text, especially in an image like this, as a texture as opposed to a string in an info card, that, you know, it represents differently. So it'd be quite difficult to read.
I hate the dock of crazy so much.
I tried to organise it, but it's so crazy that I gave up. And so much of it's out of date.
What's this sidebar buttons, by the way? I still don't understand what that is.
Where have I put it? Sidebar buttons. In the Criminal Underground.
Yeah.
That probably was doing what you just did, where you sized them to fit. But like I said, I want to change the texture of them, or the graphic, because you can't read the name of the race very well.
Okay. I'll leave it as... I'll put it as yellow is in progress then, yeah? Happy with that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Is it orange or yellow for in progress?
I don't think it matters.
Text strings and positioning.
On the game victory loss screens.
Huh?
So when you win or lose the game, it's all stock still.
Oh, okay.
Where the text strings sit and where the buttons all sit on that.
I presume because you move buttons around, you probably want to do that yourself.
Yeah, if that's okay. It's a 2-minute job. I just haven't got around to it because I'm doing these stupid pictures.
Yeah, and then we've got the multiplayer things.
Yeah, and I'll need one of the guys to host a multiplayer game.
I'm right here.
Yeah, but we don't have a latest build that's not got the Git stuff in. So, because you remember there's the whole thing of just copying it
we
to
have
the.
some fun time problems, don't we?
Yeah. What might be good is to start going through the maps and work out which ones are broken or not.
We're all pals. Fine. Pretty sure random maps are still broken, right?
Yeah. I can't remember if they're in the list. There might be a few which I tried to fix. I wouldn't consider them fixed.
Alright, let's look at symmetrical balance. Do add description here. Okay. Nice, Connie. Work B going round, I like it.
I like the reflection in the cell.
Yeah, it's good though.
There will be a folder in the mod directory when we release, which will have these wallpapers in full size as well. So
That's cool.
if people want to use them as desktop backgrounds and stuff, they'll be in there. Because we're nice like that.
You folks need a production organizer or something? No, I don't think we do. Fairly regular dev meetings. Gets us on the right track, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Oh, fair warning, I don't know how my activity is going to be over the weekend because I do have I've got to be out of the house for a few days.
Fair enough.
Centurion wants your babies or something.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yes, Draconium, I'm aware of that, yeah. The date night was looking mighty fine. This one seems to work.
So what,
No pirates, though, on this map.
okay, that's what I was noticing. I think we should just try and add them on all maps, to be honest.
Yeah, possibility of pirates. Okay.
What, planets are you starting now to? That's disappointing.
Fine. It's fine. Let's just turn pirates off and see what it does.
Yeah, I can't remember what the guys were saying about broken. I don't know if they mean physically broken it crashes or broken as in it's unbalanced broken.
So, some of the maps are fucked up. I don't really see, Draconian, what me wanting pirates on existing maps has anything to do with the maps that you created. That's not of any use to me right now. I'm sure it will be in the future, but right now it isn't.
Oh, his one I think is in the game. I called it something different.
Rumpy Pumplestein.
It's just a trolley pirate map. Jeez.
Yep, this one doesn't have pirates, symmetrical balance. Where's It Broke 2? Everything's okay in this menu, isn't it? Yeah. Game end screen.
Yeah, that's completely done.
Right, let's see what happens with random maps. Not feeling hopeful about this.
You broke my heart a million times. Can't count the times.
I thought I'd fixed the random ones, but I can't remember. It was quite a while ago, and I think there's been a planet balance change since then.
Actually, it's not too bad. It's actually pretty okay, to be honest. I mean, they're much more traditional maps, of course, but...
Yeah. I think I just rejigged the stock one, and then just made sure that the, like 2 of the planets close to you had class D, and then just made the rest random.
Yeah, that's effectively how it's looking. Well, one's a class M in this case, but early colonizing.
I think it was random early, but I should probably change it to 2 class Ds because that could.
I might suggest that there are perhaps too many anomalies for players to get.
On a map that size, yeah.
Mind you, anomalies are something good to fight over. It looks like there might be some things that are missing because we've just got asteroid fields here. And
Yeah, well, I think it would have been set on random anomaly or whatever. So if it's only got asteroids in that list,
yeah,
Well,
maybe we've got to put things like the comet in there and stuff as well.
yeah.
So maybe that's something to fix. Anyway, well that's working and it doesn't. Small game options. Pirates on, please.
The day goes by, even the worst ones, hey, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah.
Like the new pirate base planet icon. Yeah, it looks nice, that, doesn't it?
To work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah. To work things out, to work things out.
Look at this is probably the most functional stream that the guys who are watching have ever seen of us lot.
Oh, because Max isn't here.
Yeah.
Because we've not like lost our collective shit amigo. Oh, that singularity engine blaring over everything.
The worst thing is I've got to do my own stream after this.
What are you playing?
Stargate Races I thought I'd have a go at.
Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, because it's got like the Sims remastered thing on Stargate Races as well, because they're both dollies.
Oh, okay.
Dolly Nicks, I should say. Can't just go around calling him Dolly. So I thought I'd give it a quick go this evening, see how people get on with it. Because one thing that is uniformly that performs really well on my channel is Stargate content. People love Stargate still.
Oh, Stargate's great.
Aren't they doing like a new series? Isn't there like been one?
They
agreed in
were
principle?
talking about doing more films, but only in the original film universe.
Oh no, I think something's changed with regards to that because the showrunner from SG1, I think he's agreed something in principle.
Oh, okay. Because
Like
yeah, they were
for a
going to like
new-
split
for a
the
new series
universe or
slash
something
miniseries.
weird.
Yeah, they've
Sure.
decided that that's a bad idea. So
Okay, excellent, because
because the SG1 showrunner basically kicked up a massive fuss.
I'm not surprised because SG1's the only reason that
It's good.
the
Yeah.
universe is good. Because I mean, the film's great. I love the film, but it would just be one of those obscure sci-fi classics. It wouldn't be what Stargate is.
Don't have the Ori in there as evil as the Borg. That's alright. I beat the Borg the other day.
They left.
Shut up.
They went on holiday, and you're taking credit for it.
Still won.
They decided to nope out of the galaxy.
But just because they couldn't organise their transwarp correctly doesn't mean I'm at fault. I'd love to see Stargate Universe finished. I know a lot of people really don't like Stargate Universe, but I really enjoyed the feel of those series.
I really don't. I think the thing I don't like is that I know that they didn't get to finish their story, and that is what annoys me more than the actual show. Which, I mean, it was a weak show, but
It didn't have the breadth of SG1,
no.
and I don't think we can deny that. It would be remiss to do so, wouldn't it?
And I think I just like
But it had some great actors.
some shows start slow because they have an idea where they're going with it, and it just didn't get that opportunity. I mean,
Ooh, the
Not all
D4
shows
flagship's
do that.
looking decent.
yes, yeah, it's really cool.
Can you cast your eyes on my screen?
Where is your screen? Yes.
What's going on with these decals?
Where am I looking? Oh wow, they are super shiny.
It might be intended by Max, but it might be worth mentioning it to him if that is intended.
Yeah, it's probably one value which determines how shiny it is. Like a bit too high. I mean, yeah, it might be. spawn in the other one, the D5 envoy,
Envoy at your service.
like the frigate one, or the cruiser one, or whatever it is. It's-
Frigate.
Q. What? Yeah, see how shiny that one is.
It doesn't have the same plating areas. Oh no, so it does. Yeah, they're not shiny at all. It's done in a different way.
Okay, that's probably just
Like these are kind of
Maybe.
baked into a mat, whereas these seem to be separate.
We'll check with the man himself.
Looks good though. Very attractive. No, I was looking at them. Ooh. Oh, look, there are pirates. On Eye of Apollo.
Oh yeah, that's one of mine. I have Apollo.
This is a nicely balanced map because they're. My only minor criticism of this map is it's a little bit too predictable from these planets on the outside in most instances, and as a result of the relative predictability of it, you don't tend to get a good variety of neutrals.
No,
But that's
but
my
I think
only
if
criticism of this one.
maybe setting the so you see the red player, and they've got two class N's flanking at the top and bottom. Maybe changing those two N's and all the ones from not the M, but everything that N, the X, and the X and the N. Maybe changing those just all to random large or something.
Giving those a little bit more of a randomization sequence. Yeah,
Just-
perhaps so. Perhaps so.
And
But
then,
that's a secondary consideration because this is functional and correct. Like tweaking is great. Let's function first.
it's interesting on that one though
Oh,
that
dick tits.
you had only one minor faction, which was closer to your player than, and there wasn't one the other end for the Klingons.
Sometimes that happens. It's very rare, but it does. Oh, do you know what? You speak of Dolly and he'll bloody appear.
Somebody summon me.
Yeah. I was just talking about SGR. Gold. Let's have a look at this one. Universe was a dramatic tone shift from the other series. I don't know how they thought such a thing would succeed in their established audience. It succeeded with me, and I was very much an established audience. I watched all of SG1, and I think the best part of Atlantis as well. I don't know if I finished season 5, if I'm honest.
I think the mistake they made with SG1 and Atlantis was that they kept being the underdog and beating these massive races, and then suddenly they were the big race in the galaxy, and it was like, well, what do
Big
we
dick
do
swinger.
now? And there's just no story then, because so many science fiction shows have, the humans on par with everyone else, and this one was one where actually it's like, well, we've got modern technology and we've got to go find all these bits, but at that point we've got our own massive spaceships, we've got the Asgard beams and all this gubbins, so it's kind of like, well, technologically we're kind of more advanced than the Wraith, there's just more of them. It's just kind of, I get why they had to kind of do
I think
let's go to the other side of the galaxy.
Some episodes that I really enjoyed of that. The one that I tend to remember more than most of the others is the one where Ronan was kidnapped and he was taken back to I think it was his home world, where the Wraith hunted him again.
Yeah.
I thought
He's
that
basically a Tosk, isn't he?
yeah, I thought that was a genuinely excellent episode. Really enjoyed that one. This map seems to function quite nicely as well. Lovely bastard. Magnetar. Two sets of functioning pirates, because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Symmetry.
This might have been one of Lemek's maps.
Yeah, I think I went through a couple of iterations with him on something quite similar to this. I don't know if it was this though, because I think the wormholes were elsewhere.
I think the wormholes might need moving on that.
On this one,
Yeah, it seems a bit.
getting to the wormholes seems like a bit of a drag. I'd be
It also
tempted-
seems fairly pointless having two like
I'd-
that unless they go somewhere else.
I'd
but
be
if they
tempted
just go-
to have a wormhole here.
Yeah, I would
connected
agree.
to this, because that's close enough to different players' home worlds that they would not only fight over the wormhole, but there was also a threat from wormhole
It
the
just
other side.
it just seems to like it seems to look from here like it does a Pac-Man, where it goes off one side and comes on the other. And if that's the case, why is there two of them?
I imagine they're crossed, yeah. And I see
Yeah,
what,
but
I
I
see
mean,
what you
like
mean
for
there,
the
but-
sake of one jump, it seems a bit.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And also the fact that you don't have to go through the star means jumping will be...
Yeah.
Eh.
Okay, maybe make a note of the wormholes on that. But other than that, it looks good.
Hmm.
There's some of the neutrals flags that came out really well, and that's one of them.
Yeah, it is nice. That's something that we never bothered with STA3. We never made a good flags. Razek.
Oh god, there he is. Revolving head.
It's quite hard, this one. It just gets me every time. Hot and cold looks good. Dev test.
Yeah, any that have spanners, just ignore, because they're going to be deliberately. I think dev test is literally planet, star, planet.
It's got 37 planets.
Oh. I don't think it.
Do you ever look at it? See what's
Yeah,
going
why
on.
not?
See what's going on.
It might be another. It might be another dev test. I'm thinking of then.
There's one that's just called test, which is in the small.
Yeah, that's like 2 planets and the star in between.
Yeah.
That's just I need to load in quick and do some UI stuff. All right, I'm gonna grab another drink at 2.6.
Right, my man. I'll need to grab a cup of tea when you get back. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped as well, Centurion. I've got to admit, I think I'm getting happier and happier with where we're at. So I think we're getting fairly close to where we want to be now for the initial release. Of course, that doesn't make it the full release. There's no Romulans, and there are probably various other things that we're not going to be satisfied with. A few things that we've decided are outside of our initial release scope, like a full list of random events. That's not going to be in. Because we want to make super. This is a good. Oh, this isn't a bad map. I like this one. Maybe this shouldn't be called Dev Test. Really enjoying this song. What's it called? Show me your soul. The Jesse Lawrence feat Ami Cisse. Okay. Try and remember that. Yeah, I think there are some big changes to the way that it was in STA3. STA3 started its life very much as what you might describe as a stock reskin. It's taken on much improved characteristics since, but there are certain things that kind of retain that stock feel in STA3, the UI specifically being one of them, and the way that zoomed out planets look and things like that. That's still quite stock in STA3, despite the fact that the gameplay is a bit different and, you know, there's a hell of a lot of content in STA3. This does look like something that we've tweaked every aspect of ourselves. And typically we're quite pleased with this UI. And part of the reason that we're pleased with it is because we've got a couple of testers who are quite new to Sins in general, like Sins of a Solar Empire, and we've tried to work with them as much as possible to make sure that all these menus are accessible to them and they understand what's going on. Oh, look, changing a bit.
Oh dear. And the height on that screen as well, or the gap between those buttons, because that's only going to fit 8 on there.
Oh, right you are, yeah.
Yeah, so I need to.
That's irritating. So we might have to change this from
We'll have to just change
Imperial
the name.
Scouts. Yeah. In the great scheme of things, it's all looking quite tasty. And yeah, we can reduce this to the same as this.
Yeah.
Okay, pirates. This needs a new surround look.
Yeah, all that needs looking at. The offer mission button's actually outside the...
Oh yeah, it's living down there. Oh. Clickable.
Yeah, it all needs looking at. That's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know what? I've marked that as done in the list. Sorry.
I think it's a piracy screen. It's basically what I'm going to get to once I finish those 2 outstanding screens, because I want to try and get all the buttons for both of them on one texture sheet.
Yeah, justifiable.
Because it's not a great deal between the 2 of them. But
Yeah, I was just saying we've tried to work with both experienced and new players for Sins to ensure that any UI that we do create is easily accessible to players.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some mods out there. And they've got brand new, really attractive UIs, but even some players who are old hands to the game, they say that they're not as accessible as they'd like them to be. They say they're not always 100% sure where they want to be clicking.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Sins mods, when they don't go like we have into a whole reskinning the UI, a lot of them are like STA3, where it is the same buttons are in the same place even though they look different. And because we've made this conscious choice of actually moving some buttons around where they would normally sit, we had to obviously have a lot of feedback of when we can't just move stuff anywhere and people not be able to know where it's gone or why it's in a different place. So that process took, I think we went through 2 iterations of the new in-game UI.
Yeah, we did. Several iterations. I agree, Draconian. The Halo mod does have a very nice UI. I have my issues with its balance.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie about that. Infinity is a win button all by itself. And until you get Infinity, the Covenant are just better. And it's a bit of a problem for me that if you're the UNSC, you're the underdog until end game, and then it totally is turned on its head and you're going to win no matter what. That's a problem for me. Also, I feel that the UNSC are probably a little bit too strong defensively with their smacks.
Yeah, I definitely think that they took the conscious choice with that mod of making it ultra realistic to the lore at the sacrifice of a balanced game, which, you know, it's their mod, they can do what they want. But for me as a casual player, I don't know enough about microing and, you know, making sure my Mac cannons are pointed in the right direction and stuff to maximize my
and also
my first
individually
shot or I'm
grouping
dead.
your different ships.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. That's personally, that's not my cup of tea. So I'm genuinely and generally shit at that mod. But I'm shit at most games these days. I just like making.
Yeah, I suppose it's fair to note that or fair to suggest that it's an accessibility thing. Again, accessibility of UI is one thing that we've already talked about, but maybe accessibility of play is something that's always worth discussing as well.
Definitely. I think that's something that we've, you know, in the forefront of development in AOTF has always been important to us. You know, we've taken almost everything we've learned from SDA3 and then built upon that, and the kind of the things that are too integral to the game now to be able to change in SDA3, we can look at fresh for AOTF and decide how we're gonna go about that.
And I'm still at the point when it comes to AOTF that I'm not scared to do and undo things.
Absolutely.
Like, for example, the credit drain thing. We had the credit drain thing in AOTF to start with, and then we scrapped it because it wasn't working the way we wanted. And I think we've kind of learnt from our experience with SDA3 that it's taken as a mixed bag. While it does technically work, it's not great for the end user.
No.
And we want everything to be good for the end user in AOTF. And if we're offered, which we hopefully will be, a better way to express upkeep at a later time, we'll experiment with that, and we may change it in AOTF. It's the old income perk loss jib jab.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, one of the main things with AOTF from the get-go was user experience and how so the user knows absolutely everything that's going on with the UI helping them. I mean, we've written every string in AOTF saying exactly what a researcher ability does before the in-universe lore description of it.
Yeah.
And that's very important for us to be able to say, this is what this does, and then this is a description of, you know, whatever it is, because, you know, in SDA3 there are researchers and abilities which, you know, you can work out what they do, but it doesn't specifically say that. So that's just through repetition and playing that you then learn, okay, I do this and I do that. Whereas these, you'll be able to just quickly read and see, right, this does that, I now want that because of this.
So I'm just hovering over the research unlock for the Klingon turret, and it says Savul turret. You can see that it's in research already because you're in the research menu. But the first thing it says, effect unlocks access to the Savul disruptor turret, and then it'll go on and do a bit of fluff. We like our fluff.
Absolutely, it's great to build the universe, but the info card serves a purpose still, and it's especially when you get to abilities and that, you want to know exactly what that does. You something that might have the name of, you know, this is a anti-proton beam or whatever, that could have multiple applications in the Trek universe because of technobabble being used for multiple things. And especially when you apply that to a game with a game balance, going back to what we were saying about Sins of the Prophets, where at the end of the day, this is still a game and it still needs to function as a game. It still has to be fun to play, whether it's in universe or not. So, you know, the priority is to make you understand exactly what this ability or whatever does, so then you can decide how you're going to use it.
Again, we've got another decent example here. Proximity detonators, it's a torpedo research. Effect, torpedoes do more damage. And then you get some fluff. And of course, you also get the green things, damage increase plus 10%. But you know that that's torpedoes doing 10% extra damage because we've stated it explicitly right at the start of our description. So we think that's a nice way of going about things. Greater pulse disruptor range, again, as an effect for that one. And everything should be obvious to you guys. If you find something that you think isn't obvious and it contains too much fluff and not enough evident description, I wouldn't call it a bug, but it's worth reporting to us when we do release, because we'll want to change that to make sure it's as accessible as possible to you. By the way, that clusters was really good. Clusters medium 1 sector.
Yeah, I think clusters.
Really nice map.
We want to do clusters, multiple sectors, so multiple stars, and also in every size, because it's just a good basic map design. I think this is the pirate trolley one. Which I think I did a bit of work on, but I chucked in because I wanted to see what everyone else's thought was. It's okay to have like the occasional one that's a bit more difficult or a bit different to the traditional maps. So
Thinking about it. What's happening on your screen?
I'm on the Archimedes, which is the Federation Starbase constructor.
Good. Speaking of, I should just make sure that I keep checking Discord periodically, because you know what will happen if Max turns up and then
Why won't you love me?
He'd be like, "Why won't you love me?" Well, this is taking a while to. Oh, there we are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pirates in this. 4, 5. Why have you got so many pirates?
I think that's the point of the map.
I suppose you kind of got enough to start dealing with them.
Yeah, I made sure each planet starts with 2 Class Ds, or 2 early planets, and then it just, if you want to descend into the chaos, which is the pirate den, then that was kind of the only thing I really changed. There were some phase lanes which were a bit janked, which I adjusted, but I didn't spend a lot of time in this one.
It's interesting, I'll give it that. It seems bonkers.
Yeah.
Where's the central star?
Does it even have one?
Oh, here it is.
Ah, okay.
It's just a red dwarf. Quite small.
Oh, what are those 2 ability icons?
Oh, solar radiation and solar flares.
Fuck!
Yeah, you can attribute abilities to stars, and you'll probably want to look at nebulas as well.
Fuck!
Yeah, I know. See if there is a nebula around.
So many more boutons. Oh, I can get Fab to give me a hand with that. He's a good egg.
There aren't really any nebulas here. What else we're missing out on? Nope. Hey, Hobbs. Hey. Hobbs, hey. Hey, Hobbs.
Yes. Ah, fuck!
Asteroid fields.
Hey. I think I'm going to retire.
I don't think you are.
Nah, me either.
Verex Vortex. Fun name. Dangerously contested area of space equidistant between the respectively claimed territory of the Enolian and Klingon empires.
I think this is also one of mine. Yeah, I want to build some of Caesar's ideas that he's been posting, and some of those are quite good as just, fair, balanced maps, but we also need to, like you were suggesting the other day, about making, just some random ones, some less even-looking ones where it's a bit more,
Yeah.
just a bit more fluid and a bit more natural looking.
Kind of what I wanted to do is have. I like the idea of clusters, and I think clusters is the right way to move forward with our maps. But clusters aren't always going to be symmetrical, so you can have like a cluster that's kind of squashed in towards the centre, that's connected via one random thing to another cluster, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're taking islands of planets and then moving on to another block. That would be quite cool.
Each cluster has one, maybe two choke points to deal with.
Yeah, that would be quite fun actually.
Yeah, and a lot of symmetry in this one. This will be good for multiplayer because it will be really fair.
Yeah. Was this one of mine?
Do you know what I don't see very often at the moment? Pulsars. I see the magnetar fairly regularly, but I don't see the pulsar so much.
Let's to make sure it's in the on the
All
list
listings,
properly.
yeah. Magnetar's great, but the pulsar I think is superior.
Oh no, this is one of mine because I remember how the ones were.
Do they all? Does each one go like one left or something?
No, it's kind of like a Star of David. So they like cross to the opposite one, and then it basically
I
makes
see.
a Star of David across the whole thing.
Oh, I see. That's cool. Nice. Hoping to add some more in, says Draconian, if they get approved. But more maps are always good. As I say, I'd be at my happiest if you could push forward with the clusters with a star in the middle of each small cluster idea. And also, don't be afraid to design some for single player. I think all of our maps right now are very good for multiplayer
Yeah.
because they're all very, very fair, very symmetrical. Don't worry about being that fair or that symmetrical with all your maps.
It's another good render. That Poseidon getting shot in the top.
But we give Connor a fair old amount of jit, but he does good work, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does very nice renders. But no one tell him we said so.
We're British. We can only praise people when they're not there.
Exactly.
Ah, so this is kind of one of our clusters, if you will. So you've kind of got a cluster here of several planets around a mini star.
Which map was this one?
First one in large. So you've got this as a cluster, some outliers. Central star is, of course. Oh, look! Wormhole.
This might be the neutral zone one where you start with a planet in the along the border as well as your home planet.
Yes. In fact, you start with seemingly 3.
You shouldn't start with 3. It should be. No, that is right. There's 2 green players, that's why.
Oh, so there is, yeah.
Can you just zoom in on the Class Ds on the border just to make sure they've not started with the NXs? That one's got the start fleet.
No, it's just got a flagship.
Oh, okay, and was quick start on?
Yeah, quick start is on.
Okay, so that'll need
Got this
adjusting.
one. Here's the other one. Only its flagship, no Starfleets.
Okay.
Oh no! Ooh.
Or has he moved it?
Oh yeah, you moved his Starfleet over here, look.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I love the Raptor. We originally had that as the Klingon siege ship, but we liked it so much we had to move it to the one of the frigates, so you get a bit more use out of it.
The replacement is a better choice for it anyway. It stands to better reason.
Yeah.
When it comes to making maps, folks, when you get your version, if you will, AOTF will have a Galaxy Forge in there. So you'll just be able to double click on the Galaxy Forge and you can get going. Nice and easy.
Yep. All set up, ready.
The only downside of that is the Galaxy Forge itself isn't executable. So when you're downloading the thing, it might say, oh, hang on, I don't know about this, and you'll have to say download anyway. But the Galaxy Forge is, of course, Ironclad software, not ours. And it is safe. We haven't done anything weird. Oh shit, I've bloody exited.
Why'd you keep doing that?
I'm a
Ooh,
fucking idiot.
all of it took.
I'll leave everyone in your capable hands for a couple of minutes.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know about that.
I'll chat away to the audience while I go and make a cup of tea. I'll put it on your screen so you can talk about what you're doing.
Right, I'm doing the... What am I doing? I've done this one.
Try not to sound so disinterested either. I am doing stuff.
I'm doing this, and I'm doing... Well, I was actually doing a ship that I've already... So I don't need to do that one.
Justice
Oh,
says, just
no,
installed
just-
Star Trek Armada 3. That intro music almost brought a tear to my manly eyes.
Which, has it still got the, Nemesis intro?
Yes? Yeah.
I made that. That was a Hobbs.
That was Hobbs. It does still stay Nemesis though when you start it up. I figured it wasn't critical enough to delay.
No, not
release.
enough to. I mean, we were ready to pull the trigger on that a while back.
What's in a name change? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go make a cup of tea. Ask
Make
ask
yourself-
Hobbs questions, folks.
Ask me all the things and all the stuff.
Yeah, those. Do that.
Yeah. Oh, don't watch Insurrection. Definitely don't watch that. The bits of it that were alright, but I didn't like the overall way it was done. Yeah. Problem with Picard is that Patrick Stewart hasn't aged in the last 50 years. Which one was in? It was Into Darkness, the one with the Khan one. Well, he's not Khan. Oh, what's going to be? I don't know. I think I'm going to let this one stick for a while. I got bullied in our last dev meeting to be called this, so now it's been changed. The second cover, yeah, that's a bloody. Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch, he's a big name. We'll get him to play someone that does not look anything like and does not act anything like or sound anything.
Don't go ask me what you did wrong. Ignorance will never see. No, was it meant for me?
Look, that's the wrong one.
Why
That's also the wrong.
let it be? I gave you 1, 2, and 3.
Don't need.
Stop wasting my good. 'Cause you're not on your knees.
So you can see why I'm slowly losing my mind making these, because incredibly tedious doing the same over and over and over and again. That's not. Don't need anymore.
Hey,
Hello. I haven't been quiet this whole time. I
You like-
just ran out of things to talk.
let's take a look and see what's going on here then.
Beyond pushed it too far. That was I don't. There's just the music blowing out the spaceships thing was ridiculous, and so was size and scale of
Do you know,
that
directly
stupid
from the
space
front,
station.
that looks like a Romulan ship.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like a bird of prey or something. Yeah, like let's build a space station big enough to fit a Kelvin Constitution class in. So not just the Constitution class. We're talking about the biggest thing ever bloody made. And we're not going to check what's in that nebula right next to us. That's my biggest problem with Beyond.
I don't know. I'm glad that the Kelvin films exist.
I really liked the first one, and as much as it was kind of like different, they were clever enough to explain that away with the plot of the film, to explain why it's different and how they could get away with going in a different direction, and that's a lot of respect for the fans. And we haven't been afforded that respect since, and that's kind of disappointing.
No, indeed not. In fact, in some cases, we've directly faced duplicitousness. I would suggest that we've been lied to in having it suggested that Discovery is in Prime.
And
they only
I have
said it
no
was in
evidence to justify that point, because there's too many glaring errors or omissions or you name it.
Yeah, that's my thought. Having them say it in Prime, that Discovery is in Prime, and then flagrantly disregarding everything that has occurred up until that point in Prime, and indeed occurs afterwards in Prime, that we know of. That smacks to me that they just said it because they thought it would keep some of the old fans.
It sounded like one of those, like
content.
more of a marketing ploy than an actual. And that's a lot of my problem with Discovery. Would be better if they just let go
Of Prime.
of Prime and let go of the original series and did their own thing in that time period. You don't need to go find the Enterprise and Spock and Pike, or her even be his stepsister or whatever. You don't need to cling on to it that much. You can have the Federation, you can have the Vulcans, you can have the Klingons, you can have all of that, but you don't need to just latch on to
Spock.
classic Trek and just be like, it's
There's
10 years
some
before
parts-
the Enterprise.
There are some parts that I really enjoy the inclusion of. Mud, for example.
Absolutely, that's really a good
Ancillary
link.
characters like that, yeah, pull them in.
Yeah, it's great to put it in that universe, but you don't need, like, you watch DS9, and there's one crossover with the original with the TNG, or two, sorry, if you include Emissary. There's one crossover episode, and that builds both sets of characters. It's not like a safety net or a life preserver or something. It's fine.
Well, no, I mean, it deals with a question that the audience would have felt was quite valuable.
And it's just...
what is Sisko's perception of Picard, knowing that he was a what the fuck?
What's going on?
Oh right, Jesus. All right, Grid.
It will be all even.
Cool proving grounds. Great 5v5.
I think this is another Lemec one.
Hey, look at Pulsar.
Yay!
Wow.
And you know how we love a Discovery on this channel, but it's just...
I don't hate
I'm
Discovery
not an
as a
idiot,
show.
and I don't need to be spoon-fed,
Praise.
you know, it's so shit. It's just like... Oh, we're going to make everything gritty so everyone's punch each other, but then every other 5 seconds they're going, oh, you're amazing, don't forget you're amazing. But I'm going to now punch everyone again.
But then we are British, so like overt praise is difficult for us to take anyway, isn't it?
But so's just punching people in the mess hall or whatever. Like they
That's not so bad.
end up doing every episode.
That's alright, if there's beer involved, it's fine. Like, if anybody's just watched a football match, it's fine to chew the crap out of the ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I was speaking to somebody, I can't remember where they're from in Europe, but I was speaking to a European fellow the other day, and they're, like, translated, their shorthand for the British is island beasts.
Who's that?
I can't remember who it was I was talking to the other day, and it really made me chuckle. And a lot of it is apparently down to like the manner of our football fans when we go to different countries. We're like raving animals.
Did you have a problem with Earth Space Dock being as large as it is? If you mean Space Dock from, the Prime
Starbase
films, if we're talking about, the Space Dock, the big blue mushroom head one, I don't have so much a problem with that one because it's in orbit of Earth, and you don't have a ship flying down a tube in it to get to the main section when that ship is like 10 times as big as a normal Constitution. I can't remember the size of the Abrams. Did they say the crew complement of Starbase Yorktown or whatever it is?
It was ridiculous. It was like,
it's like half the population of a planet.
yeah, it was like 120,000 or... I'm going to call random maps fixed, mate.
Cool.
Be nice to have some semi-randoms that are formed as clusters. And perhaps we'll have time to do that. Generic debris. Oh, okay.
I also have a problem with them constructing something that large, which would have taken a decade. I mean, the thing's insane, and them not even scout around the neighbouring area.
Yeah, that does seem a little dim.
It just seems silly. Alright, let's just scout. Right, I've got 2 more, and then I am done with this for tonight because my brain. Got the Jupiter and the Conestoga to do. So, Conestoga, which is the Federation what? Audience?
I ain't telling you.
They know nothing! I'm going to give them a chance for stream delay shenanigans. Sewer ship? Not quite. Right. Can't-
Okay, so a few more screens. And I need to make some abilities for minor factions.
Yes, that is a thing.
Do that over the next few days.
Yeah, that would be good to get.
I think the most critical thing that was kind of like on my shit list was
Pips?
the pips, wasn't it? So,
Yeah. The Conestoga is the Federation colony ship, which you'll be delighted to know also has the ability to capture neutral structures. Hunt around your ship list to does that. Which, to be fair, was mainly it came from mainly the need to try and make other ship classes be more valuable, wasn't it? With SDA3,
yeah, very much
give
so.
you more of an incentive to diversify your fleet a bit.
Well, I mean, I was talking about SDA3 the other day with, was it you guys? And I was suggesting that I'm still not satisfied with the play and interplay between anti-fighter ships and fighters themselves. So if I make fighters more powerful, I can make anti-fighter ships more powerful, and both ergo become more valuable in the great scheme of things, because you'll need one to counter the other.
Not having anti-fighter ships will hurt the rest of your fleet because fighters do more.
And of course, having fighters in the first place is better because, of course, you don't want to have them. You don't want to be one of the have-nots. And that would by itself make the carriers a little bit more valuable. But yeah,
Ideas,
it's potentially
more
something
possibilities.
For the future. Potentially something for the future.
An ever-evolving beast is STA3.
Oh, it never bloody ends, does it? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want it to end.
I think there will always be something to do and always something better and new ideas. I refuse to believe that every idea we've had for either AOTF or STA3 has been had yet. So I think there will be developments and extra things and new ways of doing things, new patches adding stuff. Name it.
Well, as I say, I mean, I'm basically... One thing I have committed to is I'm going to support SDA3 and make sure that it continues to work until people stop playing Sins.
Yeah.
Whether we add any real content, I suppose, is up for debate, and it's up to the entire team to make a decision whether we do that or not. It's still a point of pride that we keep things working that we've already made.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice cup of tea. Even if I do say so myself.
Which you do.
Which I do. Left-hand side has got more of a gap than the right-hand side.
I'm doing it.
Nope, don't like it.
Yeah, you do. You love it.
Move it upwards a bit.
Upwards a bit? You crazy? You want it even between here and here?
Is that bad? No, it's not in any of those. Yeah, you carry on with your day.
Yeah, fuck it. Oh, this one cut out shit, didn't it?
Gusty says, I think you should open a studio at this point. We don't have the skills, unfortunately. I wish I did. I wish I was better at doing what I do than I am, but I'm not. I only know what I know, and it's a very narrow and limited scope. That's not to say that I haven't got the commitment and the learning capacity. I think I probably have. But it's dependent on everyone else too. It can't just be me, and it couldn't just be Hobbs or just be Max. It would have to be all of us wanting to do the same thing at the same time, and most of our team, most of our guys have got careers. And can you really work on a full game, a proper project, at the same time as having a career and a family and all these other important things?
Bear in mind that AOTF is what, a year and a half old now.
Yep.
And it's not even out yet, and that's a mod that we do in our spare time. So creating a whole game, even on a free engine like Unity or
there's that new one that's really low impact, isn't there? I want to say it's like Giddig or something.
oh, I've heard of it.
Got?
What's it called?
Is it Got or Tog?
It's something.
Godot?
The Jupiter shield mesh is called Jupiter, but I don't know what the actual Jupiter.
Yeah, here you go. The Godot
What
engine.
Delta?
I'll show it to you. It looks really interesting, the Godot engine. I was looking at it the other day.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, is this one?
And it looks quite... Well, the coding at least looks quite easy. I imagine the art's as complex as you're willing to, or seeking to make art.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. Might be a fun engine to have a piddle about in. I think you could put one of our models in there and then like create a simple direction and speed system.
Yeah, that'd be quite fun.
So you could just fly your spaceship around. That'd be quite a nice thing to do.
Doing select.
And maybe I'll experiment with that at some point. What's the the Bridge Commander esque game that they were trying to make?
Bridge Commander-esque game.
Yeah, I think Max donated his Dominion models to them many moons ago.
No, they were.
Excalibur, I
Jets.
think it may be.
Oh, that rings a bell.
Star Trek Excalibur. Get me on the Godot engine. I'll have it done in less time than they have. Just do these now. I think.
I'm pretty happy about the pips. That's a good.
Yeah, I think that's something that we definitely needed to fix for release. So that's kind of that's ticked one of the major impediments off. Because no one was happy with that, were they?
It's you don't realise how you rely on it until it's not there.
Do you know that's something that... Have any of our guys ever done interior, like, bridge model designs?
I don't... Oh, Connor might have.
I'd love to see some of our artists have a go at that, like making a custom one. Be really interesting to see what they came up with. I think we've all got influences that we really love.
I think we've definitely got the attention to detail.
Like, was I an artist? Which of course I'm not. Mine would absolutely end up looking like a TMP one, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I think the displays, particularly in the TMP era, are vastly superior to any other era.
I get lost in the detail of sets and set design, And there's something about the TMP, like TNG, because it's all relative to what you're looking at. You know, you've got the stickers that are on crates and doors and stuff, but there's only so much information there. If you look on the TMP ones, you've got every
minutiae of
little
detail. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's incredible. It's like everything from like, especially in like engineering and on the bridge and stuff, you've got all these kind of vinyled on bits of information.
And there are also warnings where you'd expect there to be warnings. You know.
Exactly, like where this kind of apparatus must be worn at all times in this area, low gravity area or whatever.
Don't
variable.
fall over this low railing, you dickhead.
Exactly, and it's just like build my immersion.
And there are other pieces of set design, and I realise they're not just set design; they're prop design, but they integrate smoothly. Things like the closing blast doors in Wrath of Khan.
Yeah,
Like, they're so smoothly integrated into the set design that the prop feels like it's part of it rather than actually being a prop.
yeah, exactly.
And things like that I really like. I can really get behind that kind of. I'm hoping that they bring some Discovery ships into Bridge Crew. I imagine they probably already have. I'd say look on Filefront, but that's never easy. It was never very user-friendly, was it, Filefront?
You say Bridge Crew or Bridge Commander?
Of course he said Bridge Crew. I was thinking Bridge Commander.
Yeah, now they've done the TNG one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Disco one on the way. I mean, they're started
the Shenzhou could be an interesting one.
putting all the Disco stuff in stove. I think they are going to be going back towards games quite heavily soon.
There are a lot of things I like about the interior set design on Discovery. I like the soundscape. I like their console displays. Don't like how dark it is.
There's one thing I'm not so keen on the displays is how they're perfectly see-through. Just from a user perspective.
I'm thinking about the wall-mounted ones. So they still have a
yeah.
black background.
Yeah, I think in real life, if you're using something that was completely see-through,
Yeah, you'd have an accident if it was turned off, wouldn't you?
that, and you'd be seeing everything through it, not actually focusing on what's on the display. Imagine
There'd be
looking
an
at a
element of
piece.
distraction, wouldn't there?
Imagine looking at a piece of paper, but all you can see are the words. It'd be impossible.
It would boggle you.
It hurts my brain.
What seems to be your boggle?
Right, I'm so close to. I'm just finishing the Conestoga. I can finish this.
Have a look through these abilities. I had a look at the minutes from our chat the other day, and it turns out that Echo's going to help me. That's good.
Oh, okay. Is that because I wrote that down wrong, or have you decided?
No, it says it in the document. I don't know if he agreed to it, but it's what's happening.
Oh, okay, cool. My condolences to Echo.
I'll try and get those done sooner rather than later, because of course they're going to need iconography.
Yeah. Well, I've already got the sheet ready. I just need to code them in. So
Holy
it's not,
sheet.
It's not too.
Have you gone for a colour scheme for neutrals?
Yes.
'Cause I think I went purple in STA3.
I think they're like a grey.
Yeah, that works. That's good.
Yeah, so these are the ones. Check my screen. So at the bottom here, these are all the neutral ships in the game. And there's been a few added, so I need to do some more. And then these are lined up. These 5, like a column for each minor faction.
Okay, that works for me. Good stuff.
So we got the first 5 might be the Endurance. These 4 are engage.
I presume it would be best for you if I do the minor factions in order.
Yes.
Is Ferengi minor faction 2?
I I'm honestly not sure, but we can always move.
No, it isn't.
What's on the next tab to the left? Sorry, on that sheet. Use that order.
Yep, I can do that. Imperial Super Bowl. I think we're only to here now, aren't we?
Yes, the gap is. You know, we'll deal with the other ideas later.
Who made this? Was you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was going to say I've never seen such an organised list from Max.
I do try and make it make sense because my brain is an arty brain and I can't read spreadsheets.
This bothers me.
Oh, that was it. We were calling him Yek to begin with, and then we worked out that Zek could be old enough to actually be this guy before, to have been a used car salesman before becoming Grand Nagus. So then... But these
what I'll do is I will code the correct locations in from the sheet
Oh, that would be good.
for the abilities, so you can just drop the image in and you're done.
That would be perfect. The Ferengi abilities that are coded in, they are not, in any sense of the word, working. So they'll need looking at as well. I don't think they spawn the correct ships in the correct way, and they're also set to cost nothing at the moment because I was testing them.
I'm very angry with you.
Soz, not Soz.
That's fine. I'll have a look at those during the next couple of days, I imagine. As I say, I'm off from Thursday onwards until Monday, I'm afraid.
That's fair enough.
Having said that, I mean, I might take my PC with me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, folks, I think that's going to be the end of the stream. I think we're pretty much done now for the day. You have any final questions that you want to ask before I let you all go? Oh, Jesus. I just plucked a hair out of my nose. Oh,
Why would you do that?
I'm going to cry now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I made a mistake there. Is that, I was just, you know when you kind of, think like you scratch the end of your nose? And of course I touched this hair which must have been sticking out.
And then it had to die.
And it gave me an itchy, so I had to deal with it. But plucking it was clearly a bad idea. I can tell I'm getting older because of that.
They're getting longer.
I'll have hair sticking out of my ears in no time now.
Oh god. That's the other one. Level 2 old.
Level 2. Right, folks, thank you so much for watching. You have a lovely evening.
Take it easy.